Hello and welcome to the first episode of Launch Strategies for Leaders. A little bit of backstory for you. First of all, for those of you who don't already know me, my name is Katrina Douglas. I am the Launch Strategist, and I help business leaders launch projects that light them up and lead to long-term commercial success and ultimately lay a foundation that can support the process of securing funding, if that is indeed what you're after. And so, welcome to today's episode, the first episode of Launch Strategies for Leaders. A bit of backstory for you. So, some of you may recall that in April, I went live every weekday, and it was great. And I really enjoyed it. And I thought, okay, going live every day isn't really sustainable for me, but it made me realize that, there was an appetite for me to produce more live content. And so I decided to have this show, which is going to be a permanent fixture, where I show up twice a week, every Thursday and every Tuesday at 1 p.m. And this is the first episode of that show. Now, how this show is going to work is that I have a theme for the week. And then what I do is on the Tuesday, I share the first 3 tips. And on the Thursday, I share the last 3 tips. But we have one theme. And the theme is for this episode is, for this week, is laying a foundation for profit, building a foundation for profit in your business. How do you do that? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 6 tips. 6 tips, the first 3 today, on how to do that. So positioning yourself for profit is today's session. So feel free to post any comments, any questions in the comment box. Do let me know where you're joining from, whether this is your first time joining me live, what line of business that you're in. This show streams across 3 platforms, so LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. So let's get into it. The first 3 tips on how to position your business, for profit. Now, the first thing is not going to be new to you. It's about being crystal clear on what your goal and what your vision is. Now, this is one of those things that it's not new to anyone in business. If you're in business, you know the importance of having a vision and having clear goals. But when you are managing a business and you have multiple members, multiple employees, multiple clients, multiple stakeholders, sometimes that vision and that goal can get lost in the day-to-day. So the first point is to make sure that that vision doesn't get lost, that you and your team and your people are crystal clear on what your primary goal is. Not, the secondary, third departmental goals, but what is the primary goal for your business, so that everybody in your business is clear, yes, on their role, but on their role in the context of what it is that you want to achieve, so that there is crystal clear clarity in your business about what your vision is and what your goal is, what your primary goal is, so that whoever you ask in your business would be able to tell you, okay, this is our goal, this is the vision for the business at the moment. And this is so that you are rowing in one direction, and that, your business and whatever department your people are in, people are clear on where we're going. Because, having come from a corporate background, having worked in small businesses, yes, there is this general overarching goal that, in the company meetings, the annual quarterly meetings that we speak about. But in the day-to-day, nobody's thinking about those goals. And when you're not thinking about that primary goal, it can get lost. Departments can detour, leaders can detour. And so as leaders in any organization, if you have a solid goal, it is important that what's at the head filters down into the body of your organization. So it's very important that there is clarity on what the goal is that you're shooting for, and what the vision is for the business, and that it's not just you that understands that, but that is communicated well throughout the organization. Now, in terms of your goals, you want to be specific. And again, nothing here is new, but I think that sometimes because these things can get lost in the day to day, it's worth reiterating that if you are going to position yourself for profit, you can't afford, or people in your organization can't afford to lose sight of the goal. So be specific. So what is the specific milestone in terms of, is it number of employees? Is it, a financial target? Is it the launch of a new division? Is it the launch of a new product or service offering or product suite? What is the milestone that you're shooting for? So yes, you have the overarching long-term vision, but at this point in time, in Q2 in 2021, what is the specific milestone that your organization is shooting for? There should be absolute clarity on what that is, not just an annual goal, but in this moment, what is your organization pushing towards, and what are you as a leader pushing towards in your organization? Who are you trying to attract? And so it's not enough to have a vague understanding of, your target audience or your target audiences, but who are they specifically? How have they evolved? How has COVID changed their behavior? Has your target audience changed? How is it maneuvered? Where is the community that your target audience is, and what is your messaging for that audience? So specifically, if you asked anyone in your organization, any of your partners, would they know specifically who your ideal client is and who it is that your audience seeks to target? Now, yes, many of you are going to have multiple stakeholders, and we're going to talk about this in my next point, and multiple client groups if you've been established for a while and you've grown over time. If you're just starting out, some of you may be starting out with a niche, because those of you that listen to me often, I always believe in starting narrow and then going wide. Every successful business has done that, and they let the niche kind of build the audience, and they grow from a niche ultimately. But if you're more established, there may be other client groups, but who are they? And are your employers, are your team members, are your partners clear on who that is? So be specific. And where do you want your business to be? So 3 months from now, yes, you may have your annual goals, yearly goals, but 3 years from now, 3 months from now, for example, where at the end of the quarter, where is it that you want your organization to be? And this is really important, because when you're positioning your business for profit, you have to know exactly where you are in your roadmap and in the plan at all times. So you have to know whether you're on track, whether you're not, and you have to be clear on that. There can't be any confusion at the leadership level, at any level, where you are in that roadmap. So that is point number 2, crystal clear goals and a crystal clear vision. Number 2 is know who your stakeholders are. Now, your stakeholders, pretty much all of you will know, are those that have a vested interest in your business. A lot of times, our primary stakeholder is our clients, and that's where we focus on, and that's where we stop. But of course, if you have employees, your employees are your stakeholders. Strategic partners are stakeholders. If you're an organization that is looking for your next round of funding, funders are going to be your stakeholders. Investors are your stakeholders. Shareholders are one of your stakeholders. And so oftentimes what we do is we focus relentlessly on one of those audiences. And of course, that makes sense. If you want to make money, then it makes sense to focus on your clients. But often there is a skew in one direction, which, rightly so, depending on your organizational goals. But we cannot afford to lose sight of all of those stakeholders. And so if you're a small business owner, perhaps you have been focusing really heavily on clients. And of course, please continue to do that. But if you're looking at funders, how do you need to position yourself to appeal to them? So yes, it's important to appeal to your target audience and your ideal client, and that's what we hear about most. But if you're wanting to grow and scale, how do you position yourself for profit? How do you position yourself, your organization, in a way that is going to be attractive to employees? How do you position yourself in a way that is going to be attractive to potential funders? That are, how are you going to position yourself in a way that is going to make an investor look at your business and think, this is an organization that I would want to part money with, that I would want to take a chance on. And so it's important to position yourself not just for ideal clients, because that's what we hear about so much, but you have other stakeholders as well. You have potential investors, you have the employees that are going to help you grow, you have strategic partners that are going to be part of your journey. And so what are the stakeholders? And what are their needs? Okay, so who are they and what are their needs? And so that when you're positioning yourself for profit, you are aligning your organization to what those key stakeholders want to see. But first, you have to acknowledge that they're there. So who are those key stakeholders that you need to represent your business well too? Number 3 is messaging that resonates with your target audience. Okay, so we all know that marketing is key. That if you can have the greatest idea in the world, but if you don't know how to market your business, it's not going to go anywhere far. And so it's important to know that your marketing has multiple jobs. So as you grow and as you scale, your marketing has multiple jobs and multiple objectives. And it needs to be able to meet those objectives in a way that is consistent, so that you don't have 1,000,001 different messages, which confuses your stakeholders. But there's an art to making sure that your messaging is consistent, but it's appealing to those stakeholders. So what you can do is you can begin to filter your messaging, and you can say, okay, what is my main message? What am I communicating to my business? What is the brand? What is the DNA? What is my comms strategy in this time? And then you can filter it and say, okay, is the way my brand is represented, is the visuals, is the the messaging, is it fitting for my clients? Is it going to resonate with my clients? First of all, my prospects, the people that I want to reach. And some of you, it's important to know that the people that you want to reach moving forward may not be part of your existing client base already, depending on where you want to go. But that's a discussion for another day. But who is your messaging? First filter is this messaging going to resonate with the people that I want to reach? First filter. Second filter, if you want to grow and attract employees, is this vision something that is going to galvanize future employees and get them building the vision with me? Second filter. Third filter, if I want investment, is this positioning reflecting my business and an organization in a way that is going to attract potential funders? So whenever you're thinking about marketing, positioning, branding, you should have multiple filters based on your positioning and based on where you want to go. So I hope that resonates. So those are my first 3 points. We continue this discussion on positioning your business for profit on Thursday, same time. But just to recap what those points are. So number 1, be crystal clear on what your goal and what your vision is. It's not enough for just your senior leadership team to know. Is that filtering from the head to the body of your organization? And is everyone clear on what their goals are? And is everyone rowing in the same direction? If you picked anyone from your organization, could they tell you what that top line goal is? If they can't, there is work to do. Number 2, know who your stakeholders are. So be clear on who are your ideal clients, who are your potential, partners. How many stakeholders do you have? Who are these stakeholders? And then number 3, make sure that your brand and positioning resonates with those key stakeholders. I hope that helps. Now, do you have any questions? Do you have any feedback? Feel free to drop them in the comments below. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate the feedback. It's really good to be back live. I've had a couple of weeks break. So yeah, really good to be back live with you. And even after this broadcast, if you're catching the replay, please feel free to drop any comments, any questions that you have in the comments below. I always check back and I will be sure to come back to you. Well, we're just wrapping up. We're just getting started. If you're launching a project, if you have an established business and you think, do you know what, I have work to do in the area of laying a solid foundation for my business and really positioning my business in a way that is going to be attractive to funders, then please feel free to reach out. Our website is thelaunchstrategist.com. Everything that we do here is based on our 6P framework, and those pillars are, for those of you who don't know, purpose, where we deep dive into the goals, vision for the organization, and the market. We do something called intelligent preparation of the battlefield, where we really, really deep to uncover that. Then we have products, so really digging deep into the DNA of your offering and what it is today, what you want it to be in the future. People, assessing skill sets, filling any skills gaps, and looking at what you have versus what you need to get to where you're going. Number 4 is promotion. I'm a marketer by profession, been in marketing for 15 years, was chartered for the best part of a decade. And so, it's an area that we're very, very strong in. And so we deal with both launch marketing and also evergreen marketing processes, because we're very much about longevity and business sustainability. And often the key to that is in processes. And then profit. So looking at long-term revenue generation, what your business model looks like, what your commercial model looks like, and all of that good stuff. So if any of that resonates, reach out to me, either here on LinkedIn, or if you're watching on YouTube or even Facebook, feel free to reach out, direct message us on any of those channels, and a member of our team will be in touch with you. Or you can go directly to our website, thelaunchstrategist.com, and look at what we have to offer there. Thank you to those of you that are joining live or will be catching the replay. And I will see you at the same time on Thursday. Have a super blessed day and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.